Hey again, welcome back to Flow with River. This is going to be another one of those stories of miracles and another car accident. So this one, I don't remember how old I was. I don't remember if I was a senior in high school or a junior. But I do remember that my grandma, my dad's mom, was she had developed cancer, or I think it was ovarian cancer, and she was over at the UW at the medical center. They were trying to, do anything they could to help her out. She ended up not coming home from that. I miss her dearly. She was, she was a hoot. One of the sweetest, funniest, toughest mamas I know. We'd always play Yahtzee in her red checkered apron. She'd always threaten to put us over her knee, but she never did. She was so nice. And so anyway, I stayed home. My mom, dad, and my brother were gone over to Seattle, but I stayed home because I was actively in volleyball right then, and I feel like we had games or something. But so I was coming home on that Highway 195 from Spokane, and I was driving a Subaru station wagon, and now this whole area has changed. Now this whole area is called Eagle Ridge and Qualchin. It's this big, huge development. There's a ton of houses now going up the hillside to where we live. There's a Yolks grocery store and gas stations and car washes and storage units, Subway. But back when I was growing up, this whole chunk of property that was in between where I would exit off of the highway, and then there's a 90-degree turn, like that just kind of just hairpinned you around. But the whole area where now is all this development of the Yolks and grocery stores and stuff like that there's this huge property that was the Japanese garden. So there was a couple old farmhouses, and then they would just every year they would plant. The whole thing was planted, and people would always be out there working and picking and having their straw hats and stuff on, and it was really beautiful. But the point is that the hairpin turn, when you're coming the opposite direction from where I was going, there was a dirt road that went straight ahead. Didn't go anywhere, but if you hadn't really driven that road a lot, you might think that you were to go forward instead of turning 90 degrees to get on the highway right there. So, and there was a big, I don't remember if it was trees or the house or what that was on the corner, so you couldn't see around the corner there. So I turn off the highway, and I'm doing, 25 because I just turned off the highway and I'm just getting ready to turn that corner. And this car, who ended up being a kid that went to the same high school I did, I was going about 25. He was going about 75. And the speed limit was, I think, 35. And he thought it went straight. And so when I came around, he nailed me head on, front driver's side, by my lights, and like 100-mile-an-hour impact, and totaled that car. So we both got out of the car. I had my seatbelt on. We were both fine. My parents weren't home. This was pre-cell phone days, right? So we walked to the house of them right there, and I called my grandma, my mom's mom, who was living in a little mobile home park real close to where we lived. It was just like a few minutes away. I mean, it seriously would have taken her maybe 3 minutes to get to me. But grandma didn't show up. I'm like, what the heck? Now my grandma, my dad's mom, she was like solid, had to deal with 3 boys. Like, she was tough as nails. Like, my mom's mom, she was the sweetest thing in the world, but when she got like scared or sad and stuff, like her mind would just leave. Like, she was pretty airy. Love her to death. But I guess what had happened is that she drove right by me. Like, so it ended up, when I got home, I got a ride from somebody up there, and my grandma was there. So unfortunately, again, this is pre-cell phone days. This is the same day that my mom and dad and my brother were driving home. So when they get home later at night, they turned off the highway, and there's my car, their car, smashed. I mean, it seriously looked like somebody probably should have died in that accident. And so it terrified them for a brief moment, but when they got home, I was fine. So that's that one. Now, one thing I forgot to mention from my other accident was, from both of the others, so far up until this point, all 3 of these car accidents, I have had no injuries at all. No cuts, no bruises, not even whiplash that I was aware of, because nothing affected me. It's just amazing still to me. Okay, so that is that story. I will look forward to sharing more with you at a later date. Trust me, I got quite a bit more, so I'll keep them coming. All right, you enjoy this day. Bye.